Path of Exile 2 is one of the best ARPGs ever made. Free to play, hundreds of hours of content, no stat boosts, no power locked behind a paywall. So why do so many players call it pay to win? That's the question. And today I'm going to answer it honestly, not as a fanboy, not as a hater, just straight facts. Because if you're thinking about jumping into PoE2 and you're worried about getting nickel and dimed, you deserve a real answer before you invest your time. Stay till the end because the verdict might actually surprise you. Okay, before we talk about PoE2 specifically, we need to define what pay to win actually means, because people throw that phrase around like confetti, and it means something different to everyone. There are basically three tiers here. Tier 1, hard pay to win. This is the worst kind. You spend real money. You get better stats, better gear, more damage. Your wallet literally makes your character stronger. Think mobile games where you can buy the best weapon outright. That's hard. Pay to win, and it's gross. Tier 2, pay for convenience. You can't buy power directly, but spending money makes the game significantly easier to manage or progress. Think extra inventory slots, faster resource gathering, exclusive crafting access. You're not buying wins, but you're buying a smoother ride than free players get. Tier 3, cosmetic only. Skins, effects, character appearance, zero gameplay impact. This is the model that gets a pass from basically everyone. The reason this matters is because a lot of people hear free to play and immediately assume the worst. And sometimes they're right, but sometimes a game genuinely earns a better label. So which tier does Path of Exile 2 fall into? Let's break down exactly what grinding gear games sells. First, the game itself. PoE2 is currently in early access, which means right now you pay $30 to get in, but that $30 comes with 300 points. That's real store credit. So effectively, you're paying for the points and getting early access included. When the full game launches, it goes completely free to play with no entry cost. Second, cosmetics, skins, weapon effects, character animations, portal effects. These make your character look incredible. They cost real money. They give you zero gameplay advantage. This is the clean part of the monetization. Third, and this is where it gets interesting, stash tabs. Stash tabs are extra storage space for your items. The game gives you 4 free tabs by default. But here's the thing, Path of Exile 2 is a loot game. You are going to be drowning in currencies, gems, maps, fragments, unique items. Managing all of that in 4 basic tabs is a nightmare. Specialized tabs exist: a currency tab that auto sorts all your orbs and currency, a map tab, a gem tab, a fragment tab. Each one costs between 30 and 120 points. To get a solid full setup of all the useful tabs, you're realistically looking at somewhere between $30 and $100, depending on sales and which tabs you pick. GGG does run 20% off stash tab sales roughly every 3 weeks, so at least there's that. Okay, let's steelman the people who say PoE2 is pay to win. Because they're not crazy, they have real points. Argument 1. The currency tab is practically mandatory at endgame. When you're deep into maps and farming, you accumulate hundreds of different currency types. Without a currency tab, you're manually sorting through a cluttered mess, wasting time, and potentially losing track of valuable items. A player with a currency tab operates faster and more efficiently than one without. In a game where time equals progression, that's an edge. Argument 2. Premium stash tabs are required to trade. Here's a big one. PO E2's trading system, which is central to the endgame economy, requires you to list items from a premium stash tab. No premium tab, no easy trading. You can still trade in theory, but you'd have to post manually in forums or Discord servers like it's 2008. Realistically, free players are locked out of the full trading experience. Argument 3. The cost adds up. Community veterans have calculated that getting a complete comfortable stash tab setup costs roughly $85 to $100 at full price. That's more than some full price games. For something marketed as free to play, that's a legitimate complaint. Those are real issues, and I'm not going to pretend they aren't. Now let's flip it. The most important point first, no amount of money buys you power. Not a single stat, not a single skill, not a single piece of gear. You cannot open the PoE2 store and buy a stronger character. Your $100 stash tab setup and your $0 stash tab setup will fight exactly the same way. That distinction matters. Second, you can complete the entire campaign for free. The full story, all the acts, all the bosses. You don't need a single extra stash tab to do that. The stash tab issue only really kicks in when you go deep into the endgame economy. If you're a casual player or someone learning the game for the first time, the free tabs are genuinely enough. Third, compare it to something actually predatory. Go play a mobile ARPG. Go look at Diablo Immortal, which extracted thousands of dollars from players chasing best in slot gear. Compared to that, PoE2 selling you extra storage space is almost quaint. And fourth, the $30 early access pack comes with 300 points. A currency tab on sale costs 50 points. A premium tab costs 30 points. You can get a solid starter tab set up just from the points you already received. Veteran players consistently say, buy the early access pack, wait for a sale, spend your points wisely, and you'll have everything you need without spending another dollar. Alright, where does Path of Exile 2 land on the spectrum? Here's my honest take. It's not hard pay to win. Full stop. No debate there. You cannot buy power, and that's the line that matters most. But calling it purely cosmetic only would also be dishonest. The stash tab situation, especially the premium tab being tied to trading, puts it firmly in pay for convenience territory. And depending on how seriously you play, that convenience gap can feel meaningful. So my verdict, Path of Exile 2 is pay for convenience with a cosmetic first model. It's one of the most honest, free-to-play games in the ARPG genre, but it's not perfect. The trading wall is a real friction point for free players, and the cost of a full tab setup is genuinely high. What it is not is a game designed to extract money from you to stay competitive. GGG has maintained that philosophy since the original Path of Exile launched in 2013, and they've held to it. If you're a new player sitting on the fence, here's what I'd tell you directly. Download it when it goes fully free at launch. Grab the free stash tabs, play through the campaign. See if you love it. You will not hit a paywall during that experience. If you get hooked and start going deep into the endgame economy, then yeah, invest in a currency tab and a couple of premium tabs during a sale. Spend maybe $20 to $30 total, and you're set for hundreds of hours. If you're a Diablo 4 player, considering the Switch, the learning curve is real, the depth is real, and the monetization is genuinely more respectful than most games in this genre. Give it a shot. Path of Exile 2 is not a perfect free-to-play game, but in a landscape full of games that will bleed your wallet, dry for a competitive advantage, it comes pretty close to getting it right. That's my take, but I want to hear yours. Do you think stash tabs cross the line into pay to win, or is that too harsh? Drop your opinion in the comments. And if you're new here, welcome to the squad. Hit subscribe and the notification bell so you catch the next video. We break down games honestly. No hype, no BS. I'm Rafi. See you in the next one. Peace.